Okay, so I wasn't planning on doing a stream until like 10 minutes ago. Um, Ben Orenstein, a buddy of mine, needed help building out this Tuple pricing page that he had designed, and I said I would do it for him as a favor. So here I am. I'm going to try and build it out. So, as usual, no preparation has been put into this at all, and I'm just going to be making it up as I go. Plan is I don't know what, like, if they have a repository for their regular landing page, if they want to use the same thing, or if it's hooked up to their actual app or whatever. I'm just going to build it using this Tailwind Playground template and give him the HTML when I'm done, and he can do whatever he wants with it. So I'll do this as a private repo just in case he doesn't want it open source. So I'll copy this, clone it down, head into that, yarn, and we'll just open it up in code. Get rid of this junk. I'm just going to do a double take here and see. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Seems fine. Post CSS config. Seems solid. Seems like this will work. All right, so just has to be one page, so that's nice. So I'm just gonna head up here. What's the script for running this? Serve? All right, so there we go. So we got a starting point here, and we'll build out this like mobile version first, and we'll see where we get. Like, I'm pretty sure this isn't built using like Tailwind's color palette or anything like that. This has got like a gradient on it, so we'll just see how it goes. We might have to like swap out some colors and stuff like that. One thing I wish that was easier in Figma. I'm not sure if it is or not, but so there is document colors, but they're not like organized in any sane way. Kind of wish they were. We'll probably just make do with the Tailwind colors, and at least like for stuff like grays and stuff like that, and tweak as necessary, because these are all bluish grays already. Even this probably is, yeah, probably not as quite as saturated as Tailwind's defaults, but we'll just roll with the Tailwind colors. Looks like James, who did this design, he's using Inter for everything. It's a nice font. We'll roll with that. Okay, so let's head over to our index.html file. Just kind of rip out all the content here. And I'm going to add a prettier RC file. New file dot prettier RC. For some reason, it won't let me create prettier RC files from VS Code. Actually, doesn't prettier check package.json? Maybe we can just put it there. Prettier package.json. Prettier key in package.json. So let's just do this. We'll go with 2 tabs, no semicolons. We'll go with print width 100. So that should, yeah, give us a little bit more room here. Okay, cool. All right, so we got nothing. We'll just say like Tuple. Let's take a look at this design. Just gonna move this over a little bit. One thing I hate about this, all this streaming stuff, is I don't get as much space because I have to kind of shrink everything down to be able to give you fine folks the ability to even see what I'm doing. Okay, so we have a header, I guess, and this is gonna have like the Tuple logo, which I'll pull that in as an SVG, I think. Let's see, where is this stuff? So here's the logo. Let's just copy this as SVG. We'll go and optimize it. Okay, and instead of removing the XMLNS, we'll keep it, and let's create like an image directory. Image/logo.svg. Just paste that in. Tuple. What is that? Does that show up? Yeah. Okay, cool. Might tweak some colors and stuff at some point, but that's good. So we're gonna have a logo. We've got this little like hamburger thing. So let's just copy this for a second. I'll make like a 24 by 24 artboard and we'll stick it in there. Let's make sure that it is centered. And let's see how this is built. So this is a centered stroke. Let's outline the strokes and flatten. Copy as SVG. The old copy is SVG. Boilerplate workflow junk. Grab this. So we're gonna have a button here with this in it. We're gonna have nothing here. I think this has got a background, so we don't need that. We don't need this stuff. We don't need this fill. We'll rely on Tailwind colors for this stuff. So we'll do current color, class H6W6, text gray 700 or something. Yeah, 800 maybe. Okay. Back to this. All right, so we're gonna have this on the left. Let's see. It is 37 tall. We might be able to get away with, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna re-export this logo. We're gonna make this frame 40 pixels tall. Oops. Left top 40. Okay, and then if we center this vertically, does it look okay? Okay, and I have 2 pixels padding on the edges. Seems fine. So it's 2, 2, 2, 2-ish. Yeah, I mean, this is good for a logo. So just grab this version. Head back here, optimize it again. This way we can use Tailwind's utility classes, but still get the exact right dimensions. H10. Okay, so yeah, so that's the right size now. What does James have for this background color? Let's see, is it just the background color of the frame? I mean, that's pretty light. We'll try BG gray 100 to start. 200 probably. Gotta get my tabbing in the right order here. Yeah, I mean, like, this is close enough. Close enough that even if we did want to like tweak the specific colors, it's like the right number, which I think is the most important thing to start. So that way, if we do want to change like our gray 200 to be his exact color, at least we're like setting it on 200. We know like 200 was the closest one in terms of perceived brightness, so we're not fucking up our scale too much. Okay. So let's do some stuff here. What's like the padding on this stuff in general? 16 pixels, so that's great. So that means we can just do like px4 on this. And what's the distance between this and this? 24. So that's 6. So we can do like py6. And I guess we're going to want to do flex, justify between. I'm going to wrap this in a div. And oh, did I lose the SVG stuff? Okay. Let's put this in a div too. Just like feels cleaner to me. Okay, and let's pull open the DevTools here so we'll make sure we're actually looking at this at a mobile-ish size. Like 375 was kind of my go-to. 100%, please. Or wait, that's not what I meant. Just do this. Okay. And I guess we want to center these. Let's make this button display block to make sure we're not getting any weird line height things. And this is 24 from the edge. I think I'm just going to leave it. We could tweak it. Maybe we could do that as a fine detail layer. Okay, so now that that's in place, let's just focus on some more content stuff. So after the header, I guess we'll have like our main tag, and we'll have like a h1, I guess, pays for itself with one great pairing session. I'm not sure off the top of my head how we're going to do this kind of cool slanted background thing. I guess we'll just kind of eyeball it based on... Actually, I have an idea. I have an idea using some fucking hackery. We'll figure it out. And then we'll just use this exact lorem ipsum content to start. One thing I wish Prettier would do is let you like just respect your manual line breaks, but it doesn't. Okay, so next we have this like section with this pricing card. So this is gonna have, I don't know, I guess we'll make this an H2 as well. Developer teams. $2 per user. Trying to think if there's like trying to think if I have a strong opinion on the best way to like break this up rather than doing like display block. Line break is really fine. I'll just roll with that for now. Okay, so I think I'm going to put another div around this so that we have somewhere to hang off the border that feels reasonable to me and padding. And then we'll have another div down here with a UL with an li. It says unlimited pairing sessions. And pair with external collaborators for free. Update my Chrome. Okay, I'll update my Chrome. All right, let's relaunch Chrome just for you. All right, here's our new Chrome. What is this app? Perfect Pixel. Sure. Get out of here. Isn't there just like a remove from hiding Chrome menu? Okay. All right. Cool. Then we need a button. So after this, I guess we'll just I'll stick it in a div because I don't like inline elements being floating around. Start 2 week free trial. And I guess we'll do this next div too, which is going to be very similar. We'll just copy all the markup for this div. Oops. What? Okay. This will say customized with a p tag that says need a custom plan. We're flexible. And this will have another li, volume discounts, sporadic usage discounts, SSO support, contact a co-founder. Okay, so then after these pricing cards, we have this like FAQ section. So I'll stick a div there. And I guess we'll call this an H2 as well. Tuple. Here's what you need to know about your tuple license based on the questions we get asked the most. Okay. What is the best markup for like a question and answer? I guess like a description list, right? Pretty sure I've seen this, the semantics of this be explained. Let's see what this says. Zero or more name value groups. Terms and definitions, metadata, topics and values, questions and answers. Perfect. All right. I never remember. We should keep that open. DL and then DTDD. All right. All right. So let's bring this back. So I have a definition list. And then in order to make this actually work, we'll have to wrap each one a div. So let's see. Will I lose my data if I downgrade from limited plan to the free plan? This isn't even like a real question, so let's put this text should not be visible. I'm just gonna like I don't know, maybe we'll do like the interactive stuff, or maybe we'll make Ben realize that his design is more complicated than he thought. Do another one of these. I'm listening to music now, which isn't being played through my stream, which is the first time I've ever listened to music while streaming, and I think it I don't know if it's good or bad for your experience. For me, it makes me feel like less pressured to be constantly speaking because there's like no silence for me. But for you, it might mean that sometimes I'm being boring. But that's okay. It's an ad hoc live stream, so it'll be fine. All right, then we have this junk. This isn't, I don't know if we're really even in the main section anymore. Let's look at the what WG guidelines for the main section. To dominant contents of the document. So I think you could argue that, like in this case, the main content I think everything we have so far could be argued to be main content, and then maybe what we have for these like testimonials and refund policies, maybe those go somewhere else. Where's like the aside element? Can you have multiple asides on a page? I'm sure you can, right? Yeah, they've got an aside here. I mean, if this was just my site, these would all just be divs because I'm a monster. Okay. H2. This is what our customers are saying. Might as well use the same sample content as James so that it's easy for us to tell when our styles are screwed up. And then I guess this is like we'll do a div here, and we're going to have a bunch of block quotes in it. Block quote, site, markup. I've seen something like, I think you're supposed to use like a figure or something for this. Imagine that they just like, it was just easy to see. Where's like the answer? Dude, I don't have the patience to read this. I just want to see like a very quick answer here. Yeah, I feel like this is what I've seen. Block quote, figure, site. Yeah, maybe this was the good article that I read. Yeah. What do they say about site here? Okay. So we might not even be... Whatever. Just do this. Seems fine. This is what I'm listening to. Some old school Black Dahlia Murder. Good album. Probably my favorite record of theirs. This is an abomination. We can't have a class called quote. All right, so let's see what we got here. We got like 3 paragraphs. Seems pretty fine to me to have multiple paragraphs in a block quote. That seems like a very reasonable thing to do. So we'll wrap a p tag around that. P tag. P tag. Building plural sites. Okay. Cool. This should be fine. And yeah, then we get this like refund section. I don't know. What would you call that? Another aside or just a section? Section that's an HTML tag that I feel like I've never had a all right, let's just oh wait, no, it was there. Derp. Generic section. All right. I feel confident this section is appropriate. I feel like testimonials as an aside makes sense. And then the refund stuff as a section feels fair to me. Okay, so we have a unique, I'm not capitalizing refund. I'm not sure where that came from, but that should be a crime. Need to know about whatever this is. You know what? There is content for this over here. So we'll just copy this content. Ben can change all this shit. I'm just doing your stupid CSS, you bum. Okay, and then we'll have a div with an A tag that says start 2-week free trial and learn more. And then finally, we have a footer where we're going to have the old copy tag Tuple incorporated. All right, so there's our website. All done. All right, so let's do some styling. This is my usual workflow, by the way. I don't always do like the entire site like we did here, but because it's such a short page, I figured whatever. But I definitely get all the structure in place before doing any sort of actual styling. Okay, so we got the header part done. Now we need to do this text here. 24, that's 2XL in Tailwind. Text. Font, bold. We're using Inter UI. So let's go to erasmus.me/inner cdn, find this. Drop this link tag up in here. Head over to the old Tailwind config file. Extend our font family. Sans. We'll pull in the default Tailwind theme. So we can have a decent fallback here. So this will be inner, and then we'll spread in default theme dot font family. And now if we do font sans here, we should see that this is inner UI. San Francisco. San Francisco. Oh, you know why? Default theme dot font family is not editable. Yeah, that's true. That's sans. Might have to restart since we messed it up. Watch out the block code with paragraph tags. Is that a no good? Oh, I missed a closing tag. I don't know if that's what you meant. Okay, cool. Let's see, do we have the right font now? Yeah, inner. Okay, cool. Let's head back here. James has got a line height of 32, which is, what's that? 32 divided by 24, 1.3. So we can call that letting snug. Letting snug. I would say this is probably text gray 900. Then we have this like span for the pays for itself. This is where things are going to get interesting, I think. So I'm going to give this a class of relative. Text white. And then we'll make a span here. Class absolute inset 0 bg indigo 500. Let's just see what we got. 600. Again, these colors might be off, but they're going to be like close-ish. So let's give this a span. Class relative. Give this an aria hidden since it's just junk. What's going on with that? Am I missing a proper closing tag or something somewhere? Here. So I think what we want to do is like transform skew y negative 0.5 degrees, negative 0.25 degrees, 0.5. Also, what do we got for letter spacing here? Oh, no tweaks to the letter spacing, surprisingly. But we do have like a width of 283, so I think we could probably confidently give this like a max width XS, MX Auto. Give this like a PX4 to match everything else. We'll do this with an inline style. Transform skew y minus 1 degree. Now, the one thing I'm trying to think in my head is like, is there a really smart way to get like this padding? The only thing I could think of is like maybe we scale this whole thing too, but I also kind of feel like this spin is... Oh, there's fucking white space at the end of this. I'll show you something dark. See how we have this like annoying extra stupid background piece here? If this was here, we wouldn't have that, right? Because of the white space. One thing I wonder is if we give this like an inline... This should be okay. Okay, let's give it a scale as well. Oh, it's just space. 1.05. So there's just a scale X. 1.1. 1.05. How's that? Looks like we got a little too much of a skew here. Maybe James's thing, actually we can like see. Can we tell how this is built? I see no rotation on it or anything. He probably just manually changed some stuff. We'll go with 0.5, scale X, 1.05. That seems like it's going to be close. Oh, what did I screw up now? Oops. All right. Okay, so let's stick some text center on this. And this is font size 16, probably like text gray 600. Text gray 600. Line height is okay. Text center. Just see what that gives us. Maybe 700. And then distance to here, MT4. We'll see. That might be too much in reality. Little, kind of the way that I do this usually is I just kind of bring both these side by side. and I'll make this pretty tight. And then I'll just kind of line this, kind of line up the text generally. I mean, that's actually pretty close. Close enough for me. Obviously the distance from the logo and stuff is off, so let's fix that. We'll just do like do some padding on here. PT 4. Let's see. 5, 6 probably. Oh yeah, PT 6. We're probably going to want some bottom padding too, but we don't know what it is yet, so we'll just won't worry about it. Okay. We'll figure out this weird background pattern and stuff later. All right, so let's get this card going. What do we got for border radius? 8. Cool. James. This is going to be like a background gradient. So for now, we'll just do like BG indigo 600 rounded LG. We'll replace it with the gradient after. So let's get this open over here, and then we'll just kind of do some guessing. So developer teams is 18. So this is going to be text LG, text white. He's got a line height of 30. I don't think that matters. 82. That is a beefy font, my man. Class equals text 6XL. Font bold, letting or tracking tightest. We might need a bigger font because ours is only 64, and what was James's? 82. 82 divided by 16 is 5.125 rem. That is an odd number. 6 is 4 rem. 5 is 3. So, I mean, it's not crazy if there was a 7XL and it was 5.125 just for the sake of satisfying James's scale here. So let's add 7XL. We'll make it 5.125 rem. Tightest misspell. Thanks. Oh, there isn't a tightest. What weight does he have on this? Bold. Okay, I mean, I guess that's what it's going to be. I'm going to make this a div because it's not a paragraph. Flex. Items center probably. We'll figure out the spacing. Now that this is a div, I'm just going to make these divs too. Sue me. And I'm going to make these spans, even though it's kind of weird, but it's fine. They could be divs, then I wouldn't have to do the class block, but for some reason, little pieces of text like this, I don't know. I probably am doing something stupid. There's probably no good reason for doing it the way I'm doing it, but Feels right to me for some reason. Okay, so what do we got for like spacing on this? You could argue that this whole card, 16 pixels, man. This guy is just on the money. James, man, what a hero. P4. I am a fan of James McDonald. Okay, text center. Now we got some more up here, 24, but still, it's like a sane number. Oh, man. Then what do we got for this versus the edges? 53. So now we're into weird territory, but I can forgive. So we can call that 12 in Tailwind lingo. So we already got 4, so we just need another 8. Justify between. Does that look right? Is it just because... What do we got here? This is 343. This is 343. $247. $237. So our next best option is like 10. Just have to kind of see, like, does that feel better? Are these white for sure? Yeah, white, white, white. Now this is a 10% opacity white, but maybe we'll try and cheat that with a color. Let's get some spacing figured out on this. So his has dropped a little bit, maybe. That seems like way too much. Probably because of line height related reasons. I mean, that's close enough. Now this is going to have a border, B, border, indigo. What's the background? 600, so maybe like 400? 500? Well, to minimize the contrast. That's probably pretty close, honestly. Yeah, we might like tweak it a little bit, but that'll do. Okay, let's get the list styled. So it's white text, 14 pixel medium. Okay, and then 24, buddy. Oh, you know what? If it's 24 from the button to here, oh, James, you fucking magnificent bastard. What a guy. Let's just do like PY6 on this, I guess. We could build this a number of ways, but that'll work. And then I guess we'll get this icon out. So here it is. No, here it is. Oh, and it's 24 by 24. man. Copy as SVG. We can get rid of that this time. Okay. We'll just do current color. Text indigo 600. I don't think we need this stuff. I feel like this could just be a circle. I wonder why SVGO optimized it as a path. Feels like a circle would have been less characters. I still lift. Me and Steve actually lift twice a week since January. I've been getting him into it, training him up. Yeah. My lifting is not as good as it used to be. My lower body lifts are a lot worse than they used to be because of a bad back injury that really messed me up for a couple years that I'm trying to get past still, but my upper body stuff is still good. Like, I think last workout I benched 315 for 5 or 320 for 5, I think. Which is pretty good. I guess we'll hide this. Is that going to be pretty close? Maybe like 3. Yeah, that's good. So I'm just going to duplicate this now and just update this text. And then we'll figure the spacing between them. Thankfully, this will never wrap. So that's a nice thing to not have to worry about. So what do we got for the actual list item here? Is this in a group? Okay, so that to here is 12. That is also manageable. MT3. Might be too much. Maybe not. That looks pretty good, actually. Alright, so let's do this button. So this is probably 14 pixels. Let's put this on its own line. Alright, so what is this? 4 pixel border radius, 2. James is designing in Tailwind, and it's like he doesn't even know it. BG Indigo 400 or 500. Text white, text small font medium, I think it was. Semi-bold maybe? Semi-bold. In terms of verticals, okay, we got PY3, and then it's just the rest of it barely matters. PY3, text, center, block, width full. I guess it's probably more like Indigo 500. Again, we might go back and tweak these colors to be Make James's exact colors. He's got this little 1 pixel top border too. So I guess we can do that. Border T, border indigo 400 sort of thing. Oh yeah, so skeuomorphic. Maybe we'll do an official Figma toolkit. There's one that someone from the Tailwind Discord made that was actually pretty good. Like, has all the colors and all that stuff. Yeah, I'll see if I can find the link sometime. Or you can just Google it. You'll probably find it. All right, so I mean, like, there's our top section. We don't have that background image yet, but other than that, looking pretty decent. We need some spacing, so 40 pixels, so MT10-ish. Oh, wait, that didn't work. I put down the wrong element. Dumbass. Yeah. I mean, that's looking pretty good, I gotta say. I feel pretty decent about where we're at here. Pretty accurate. This is a little short. I think we need a little bit more padding underneath the $2. I think that's supposed to be $25. 2 seems like not enough. Let's look at the other page. Yeah, see, 25. This might have been a importing into Figma problem from Sketch. All right, that actually looks a lot better in general now, to be honest. And makes me think that there's probably a 5 right there. Yeah. So I wonder if there's a better way to build what we built. I don't think we need to do like the justify between, to be honest. I think this is more like a margin thing, you know? Like an ML4 sort of thing. And then this is like a justify center. And then this PX10 is just gone. Yeah. Is that good for space? I mean, that's not far off. Okay, we still need to add that space under the 25. So that would be this section here. Where's the bottom border is on this div. So actually, it's actually weird that we have the bottom border on that div. That should be on, I would argue that should be here. And we can just add some bottom padding maybe. Maybe we do the PT6 right on here and like PB8. And then we get rid of. And this actually becomes PT2. Because math. Okay, so that's too much. PB6. PB4. Close. I mean, you could argue even one less. What's 3? Is 3 too little? What's 0? Okay, so looks like 3 is probably good. It's not perfect, but it's close. Okay. So now I'm actually just going to copy the entire contents of this div and use it as the contents for this div because they are very, very, very similar. Just got to change some text again. Customized. This is going to get trashed and replaced with a p tag, which will be styled separately. Volume discounts. Let's fix this. Check mark. What's the background color here? Is this white? Yep. We can probably copy most of the classes on the card itself too. Probably there's not quite so much space between these ones. 16. James, buddy. You just make my life so easy. What do we got for color on this? This is probably like gray 800, I would say. Possibly 700. LG. Definitely 800. Here we got 14 pixel medium and probably 700. Box shadow. There's a box shadow. Is there a box shadow on the button maybe? Is that what you're saying? Oh yeah, there's a bit of a drop shadow. Why is this drop shadow like exists on the surface? Weird. There's a drop shadow on this card, or actually there's a drop shadow on this card too. Let's open it in Sketch. Friggin' hate Sketch. The performance is atrocious compared to Figma. Yeah, so things do look a little bit different. So go add a small shadow to the button. Thanks for catching that. Yeah, we might need to like add a smaller shadow to Tailwind than that. But that's okay. And then on the card, we'll add a bigger shadow. Shadow like MD maybe? Something like that probably. LG. MD. Does this white one have a shadow too? Yep. No good reason for using padding versus margin in some cases. I'm starting to experiment with using padding more often, honestly, because I was kind of reverse engineering Stripe's dashboard, and I noticed they almost never use padding in the dashboard. They almost never use margin. They basically always use padding for spacing things out. So a lot of situations that I'm used to using margin, they use padding. So I'm trying to push myself to like lean on padding more often and just see if I find that gives me better results in any way, if I like anything about it. So it's just kind of an experiment right now. All right, I guess we'll reference the sketch file here instead of the Figma file, since it seems to be a bit more accurate. So this is going to be, I don't know, probably text gray 800 at least. I guess I got to fix this other check mark. I guess we need a third one. Might as well update the copy to sporadic usage discount SSO support. Okay. Need to center this paragraph text. And this border needs to be something else. Probably like gray 300, I would say. Which I think is the default Tailwind, so probably just... Yeah, I mean, that's probably good. Does sketch give you distances? 24, 8. So we could probably make this PB6. Let's just see, how does this compare to the sketch file? I mean, that's pretty close. All right, so let's do this contact a co-founder button. Hey, Matt Swanson. Jeez Louise, all right. There we go. This is probably like gray 800 maybe? 700? I don't think we have a border on this. Does he have a shadow on it? Super subtle shadow. I would be unsure if we can even add a shadow without it being too obvious. It's actually okay. Same padding, 16. So consistent. We probably want like some hover states and stuff. That's okay. So I guess we'll work on this section now. Probably only go for another 15 or 30 minutes tops. Getting late Friday night. Supposed to be out at the bar, you know? Now I'm working and my daughter's asleep and my wife is watching TV. All right. Text size 24. I mean, that is a Tailwind compatible size. 2XL, font, bold, text, gray, 800, possibly 900. Text center. This is designed by James McDonald. This guy. He is one of Steve's favorite designers, actually. And does some really nice stuff. He is the guy that we recommend to everybody who asks us for design stuff because we don't have time. And he does awesome work. So probably better that people get him than get our help anyways. All right. So 16, 1.5 line height, text gray 700. Is that too light? That's probably good. All right, so this section, 56. So we either have to go 12 or 16. I would say probably 16 is our better bet. Maybe not. Let's go with 12. Man, I'm conflicted. I mean, the spacing is pretty tight between these cards. Let's go with 16. 16 will be okay. All right, let's first things not well, it doesn't have to be first things first, but it's a thing that I like to do is grab these icons. I think we're going to do this in Figma. I'm better at this in Figma. So that's 11 pixels, and it's right to the edge. This is 11 as well. That was a weird number, man. I don't really want to have, like, normally I would do like a 24 by 24 artboard and paste, like take this shape and paste it in, you know, centered and whatnot. It's not going to be centered, I don't think, though, because like there is no center pixel, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 on that side. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So the icon isn't centered. Since it's a small icon, though, maybe what we'll do is I wonder if we can get away with that's not centered. Apologies. I'm going to open up, I'm going to get some Steve icons, I think. Just going to grab these. So let's look at the design for a second and try and understand. Let me just paste these in actually so I don't lose them. There's the plus. So one thing that sucks is these don't go all the way to the edge, which means it's going to look like there's a little bit of extra padding compared to the design, but that'll just have to be an acceptable price that we pay. Okay, so back to this.
So you can see actually pretty clearly here that this is meant to, I guess, be centered with the question. And this is in a row together. So it seems like we're going to need a button right in the DT. And this will have to be flex items center. Do the same thing here. But we'll grab this other SVG. Okay, and then we can trash these copies so that we can start trying to do this styling. Okay, so this is font size 16, semi-bold. Just going to wrap this in a span so we can style the text directly and text gray 900 probably. Font semi-bold. We'll put the weight first since it affects the dimensions. And now this button, we'll make it block. That's kind of implied. We'll do gray 900 for this too. I'll give it some shape, probably. I don't know, we'll start with H4W4 and see how that looks. I mean, that's probably close, honestly. It's a little, it's not quite as thick as what James had. One thing I've always wondered is this actually, that doesn't look like it's 2 pixels. I thought if you gave something a stroke, it didn't matter how you changed. See how the stroke is scaling? I didn't think that happened. So the only way to get this to actually be a 2 pixel stroke is to actually like render like this, which is too big. Although, I mean, on mobile, maybe that isn't too big. Maybe we deviate from the design a little bit here. No, we can't. It's not good. How can you preserve like the stroke width when changing the SVG size? I wonder if there's a way to do that. Vector effect. That's kind of cool. Can't say I saw any impact from that. Oh, there we go. Is there a vector effect attribute? HTML. SVG vector effect. That's fucking sick. I didn't want to have to do this with a class. I was really hoping we could just do it with an attribute. So, I mean, James's design doesn't have a 2 pixel. It's like a 1.5 pixel. But like, I kind of like this better. I feel like this is going to render more cleanly. Might not work in IE11. I might not give a fuck. All right. We probably want to make this button we'll have to think through this. This button should probably be bigger as like a touch target. Okay, so, I mean, from here to here, we got 42, which is like 10 in Tailwind language. But if you imagine that this has a padding of 24, then 42 minus 24 is 18, divided by 4 is 4.5. So, I think 24, is this 24? No, it's 16. I mean, that's okay. Weird, but I think we gotta imagine that this has like a PY6 and this has like a P or MT4. This is how I kind of imagine this being. And it looks like it's a bottom border because you can see even the last one has this border. So we'll add a border B2 here. Poo. We have to break out of our padding. What is there a good way I can think to do that? First things first, is there other things on the page that have to break out of the padding? Yes. Okay, so we gotta do a little bit of quick refactoring here. We don't want px4 on the main. Actually, it's okay on the main. No, it's not okay on the main. This is my solution. I'm going to take the FAQ and I'm going to move it out of the main. And I'm just going to make it a section. Okay, so now we have like some freedom with where we apply the padding. Okay, so I would say we can stick a div around this like header content and add our px4 back here. Shouldn't actually make a difference, really. And now each one of these like D definition lists kind of groups can have px4. But now we should have a full border. Looks like James's border is like, I would say, a little bit darker than ours. I wonder if we can actually go darker without it being too dark, though. Is this too dark? I think I would rather stick with 300. All right, so I'm just gonna do like hidden Just going to copy this to the clipboard for a second. Copy this. Oh, now we're missing px4, py6, border b2. Now the funky thing is the border is gone when this is open. I'm not improving any of your copy. I don't want to have to use JavaScript to conditionally remove the border of this element if this element is visible or expanded. I feel like one option is to do a negative margin that's the same as the border to bring it up. That seems kind of weird too, though, because you don't want the text to shift. What would be a smart way? I think for now, I'm just going to hard code that this one doesn't have a bottom border. And if I get around to the fanciness, then we can deal with it then. So let's do this and this. Ugh. Oh my goodness. Sketch, I just want to select some text. Please let me do it. Okay, we got that one. All right. I'm gonna need borders on those last ones. If the vector effect doesn't work in Firefox, I don't care. It'll look slightly worse there. No big deal. All right. Let's do this one. So it's going to be similar style. So I'm just going to start by copying this stuff, wrapping this in a span, adding our button. I guess we'll just copy this button but change it to the X quickly. Where's my X? I think it's this one. All we really need is this this path, and it looks like we need this stroke line join. All right, there's our X. Again, we'll copy the classes for even the text, since I think the only thing we need to change is the color. We have to change the background and some padding and stuff like that too, but we'll figure that out. All right, so then we got, this is font size 14, line height of basically 1.5, and it looks like it's probably text gray 700. Class, I think we can put this in a p tag. I guess Emmet doesn't work when you've got invalid HTML. Oh, what the friggin' poop? Text small, text gray 700, something like that. Okay, this is going to be like no border, BG white, shadow LG sort of thing. Relative, MD, LG. We'll have to just change the LG shadow a bit. Then for this to here, we got 16, so that's nice. So let's do that with padding. I know, we'll do it with margin. Okay. This is going to be like indigo 600 probably. $700. The X is also going to be indigo 700. All right. That's going to have to be a link. Ben can make that a link himself. Okay, what do we got for spacing around some of this other stuff? So we need some space from here to here, 16. What a legend this James fella is, man. How's that look? I mean, that's probably close. And then this is probably pretty good too. I mean, yeah. I don't know. That seems good. Maybe what I'll just do is I'll just build the mobile site and Ben can just launch the mobile site. I'll just put a max width 375 on the whole pricing page. Okay, so I guess let's try and do this section quickly. Let's see if we can get like through the whole thing really fast and just be done. Done the first kind of rough pass. BG indigo 700. Text white. Let's guess text 2XL font bold. Yep, I was right. This will be text indigo 500. It might be not dull enough, but we'll see. MT4. This background overlap is going to be going to be interesting to think about the smartest way to implement that. 48 divided by Tailwind. PT 12. $95. 24. I think we actually need a div inside this aside for this card, which I guess is not shocking. So that we can do PT24 to kind of get this gap. We could try and do this with a margin, but because the image is inside here, kind of feels weird. I'm not sure if we're going to put this block quote in the purple section or in the gray section. We'll have to just see. This is going to need to be lighter. That's probably good. Maybe even higher contrast. Yeah, okay. Again, we are approximating using Tailwind colors. We need to go tighter on this line height. Snug. Yeah, better. Okay, so let's do this white block quote. $16.19 is kind of gruesome. Because I don't think we can even do... Yeah, we can do 20. Okay. Alright. PG white rounded. What is this? 8. Nice. I can make that happen. PX4. At least PT5. PB6. This certainly has a shadow of some kind. And there's certainly a gap. 41, so we'll call that MT10. Which I guess that means we put it on the carousel itself. I don't know how the fuck we're going to build an interactive carousel. I feel like that's a little bit out of my realm of responsibility, but we'll see. Ben Ornstein always saying designers need to be able to code. Only want to work with a designer who can code, but like some of the stuff that I'm going to have to code to build this design as a professional coder, I still feel it's going to be hard for me. Text gray 700. My max deadlift, my best ever competition deadlift was 601. 601 pounds. Which I thought was pretty good. Oops. This is just one big thing. Okay. Well, I mean, we can calculate line height 22, so it's going to be 22 between each one, so we'll call it 24. jQuery, he says. I guess we'll style these links. Ref, nothing, class, text, indigo, 700. How's that? 800? No, 700 is closer. Okay. All right. There's a page coming together here. Oh, I forgot to change Sherlock Holmes to the real testimonial. You can probably make these p tags. We're gonna get an unsplash face. This guy'll do. Fit face area and face pad equals 2 and H equals 144. .5? I don't know. 1.75? Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. We don't really need an alt text because we have the dude's name here. $40. Okay. This is the same color. 14 semi-bold. It's probably supposed to be a link. If we put the line, or if we put the font size on a parent, we'll avoid some weird line height issues that'll happen if the paragraph thinks it's a certain font size, but the link is acting like a different font size. So this will be something like that, probably. And this might be pretty close already. Texts. I knew something was weird there. Okay. What do we got for space here? 24. Whoever taught me this trick of being able to hold Option to see the distance between things, that's like the greatest thing I've ever learned in my life. Distance between there and there is 24. I guess we can do that as margin top here. I haven't got the new Mac yet. I'm still just on my iMac with my external keyboard, which is great. I am considering canceling my MacBook Pro order actually because I need a big screen to work, and my iMac can't be used as an external display, and Apple's new monitor doesn't come out till next month, and I was planning to order that. So until I have that new monitor, I actually can't even use the MacBook as like my primary computer. So I might wait until both are available and I can order them at the same time, just in case I don't like the MacBook and I want to order the Mac Pro instead. Then I can actually have a chance to try it and return it within the 15-day return window. Six by 6 circle. Okay, so we have this carousel. We'll have like a div under the figure. I'll have 4 buttons. Each button will have an SVG. We'll just make an SVG by hand here. Circle. What's the radius? MDN circle. Just R. Radius of 3. H4, W4. Fill or text gray 600. Nothing makes me feel like more of a front-end badass than writing SVGs by hand. That's 6 by 6. That should be 2. Alright, so there we got a dot. We need to, just out of curiosity's sake, I mean, one thing I'm nervous about here is if these testimonials are different lengths, should the card always stay the same size? I'm guessing so. So probably based on the height of the tallest one. Like it's not in this view, but in this view it feels kind of like it would have to be, or it would be weird. Let's just see though if I can do like a negative margin on the bottom of this. It doesn't solve the problem of chopping up this background, so that's not going to be the fix. Okay, so to me that says that this figure has to go in a different div than the purple. And we can have to go with like a PB like 64 or something on this. Negative MT like 48 sort of deal. PX4. It's not going to be exact, but I feel I'm okay with it. My order for classes is usually based on
stuff that affects the layout or the size comes earlier, and stuff that's more superficial comes later. So I usually do margin first, then padding. If there's like display stuff, that'll be early. I usually do like font weight before font color, because the font weight can change the size, but the font color can't. In this case, I should actually do the leading before the font color, because that actually changes the size of the element, but the color doesn't. That's kind of my general approach. Okay, so let's see. We can make this dot lighter. Probably even as light as like 400. Nope, I was wrong about that. Okay, 500. And then we'll have like a 700 probably for the selected one. So I think we'll just be able to go like 4 of these. And we'll just like ML2, 2. One. Yeah, that's better. Okay, class, flex, items, or justify center. What do we got for distance here? 24. So we'll just do an empty 6 here. Those seem too tight. Did I do something weird that caused seems like when I got rid of the maybe it was like that the whole time. Alright. Let's get this in place. Distance from dot to text 56 divided by 4, 14. It's probably more like 12 when you account for the fact that there's likely some padding on this container. So, and you know what? I think I'm gonna do like I think I'm gonna split the padding. I think I'm just gonna do like a PB6, PT6 sort of thing. No real good reason for it. 24, so 2XL bold and gray 900. Line height 32, so snug. Not sure what you mean by split the divs by templates. So we want to avoid orphaned words. Probably the easiest trick for that is to wrap these in a span with inline block. Okay, so now we're text 16, gray 700 probably, with a MT4. Text center. Then we have some more buttons. Okay, so let's do these buttons quickly here. Flex.
EG Indigo 600. Text white. Font medium or semi-bold probably. Semi-bold. Text small. (11 pixels). Total height 46 pixels. 14 times 1.5. 46 minus that. Divided by 2. 12.5 pixels. So like MT3 plus there's a border, or PY3. Probably just do something like this. It's probably gonna be pretty close. Yeah. Okay. I'll just duplicate this for the learn more button. But change the colors. So this will be ML4. Yeah, this is just a simple one-page HTML file, so there's no templating language, so I can't do anything fancy like that. So this will just have no background, but it will have a border. Border gray 400 maybe. Text gray 700. That seem about right. Yeah. And those will stretch to be the right height, I think. Now we want them to stretch to fill the space. So the trick to that is going to be to do flex grow on both of these. So they'll grow proportionately. Oh, we want to do text center on these too. Okay, that's good. 24. So this will be MT6. Okay, and then let's do this footer with no logo. Sorry, that can be a later addition. But what's the height of the footer? 81. It's kind of like, I don't know, 29 pixels of padding. Call it 8. PX4, PY8. $16 gray 700 text center. Bunch of bottom margin on the or bottom padding on this. 80 divided by 4, 20 PB20. All right, so here's the website. Done. It's got to do the responsive stuff, which, whatever, grim. Yeah, so I mean, like I was saying before, one little trick that we could do is basically going to each one of these and being like, max width MD I'm just curious, like, how decent this actually ends up being. If we just kind of find the areas. So we find like the Your Tuple license explains. And that has a full, I mean, I don't know, maybe this would actually be fine. And then if we went to like, this isn't really important at all what I'm doing. I'm just kind of curious, like, how decent this actually looks if we just like do sort of a lazy desktop version. So like this is the site. You know, to be honest, I don't find this to be that offensive. All right, I'm gonna stop because I went longer than I wanted to for the night. But yeah, I think this is pretty decent. I don't know. We got to make this menu, which isn't designed, so I have to design that. I got to invent some hover states for things. We got to make this work. So that's some custom JavaScript code. A custom JavaScript carousel. Why is the... Do we put the ML in the wrong place? Yeah, we did. Probably these buttons should be bigger. Yeah. But I would say that if this was the finished page, it's not that bad really. We got to do a bunch of these background images, and that's going to be a nightmare. But as a start, all right, well, I guess I'll do the old commit. First pass of mobile design. Git upload. Dunzo. All right, I'm going to go watch TV with my wife now. Hopefully that was okay. Maybe learned a trick or two. I think it looks good. I always like building James's stuff. He's a really good designer. So there you have it. I kind of think actually I'm going to do one little thing. How will that be built? I think if we're going to do this like sort of fake, this artificially constrained layout, I think putting this in like rounded box looks nicer. Get commit -- amend get push -f. Woo. Yeah, there you go. Cool. Well, there you go. That's the end of the stream. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll probably do some more streaming next week. Good night.